Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sophia Saint Serin, and I serve as the Leadership Training Specialist for New York State. We're very excited to have you join us for our very first Leadership Development webinar of the year. Whether you're a longtime PTA leader or joining us for the first time, we are glad that you are here to be part of this learning community. As you are settling in, please share your unit or region in the chat. We'd love to see where everyone is joining us from tonight. Before we get started, I would like to welcome our New York State PTA President, Patricia Fraser, who is joining us today to say a few words.
Thanks, Sophia. Well, it's that very special time of year, back to school and back to PTA. And what better way to get our PTAs ready than to have this great webinar tonight that's going to kick us off for the best membership year that we've had in a long time. We have great things planned throughout the year. Lots of fun badges for your unit to achieve, and we're looking forward to you sharing the ways you achieve them. And as I stated earlier, I brought some friends to join me for the webinar. So I'm ready to learn everything I need to know about membership.
Great. Thank you so much, Patty. And before we begin, I'd like to highlight an opportunity available to all of our webinar participants through our LEAD PIN Award program. I will place the link for the leadership development in the chat. But what's new for this year is that we're excited to introduce digital milestone badges to recognize your progress throughout your leadership journey. As you complete each LEAD component, you'll earn badges to celebrate your participation, reflection, application, and growth. We've also simplified the tracking progress. So instead of submitting everything at the end of the year, participants will update one edible progress tracker throughout the year. Those who complete all of the program requirements will be recognized with the New York State PTA Lead Pin Award at our Summer Leadership Conference in July. I also want to take a moment to introduce our leadership development team, our Vice President, Rob Rijos, Leadership Development Coordinator, Robin Broomfield, and our Digital Engagement Specialist, Kathleen McEnroe. Robin, would you like to share a few words?
Sure. I just want to thank everyone for registering to attend and hear the fantastic information coming from membership. As we know, membership is our lifeblood, but knowing and understanding the importance of membership and how to grow your units is really what this is all about. And I just want to again publicly thank Sophia and her role in leadership as the leadership training specialist. She has a fantastic outline of awesome webinars for our lead program. And I'm going to tell you, tap in all year because you're going to learn as leaders in New York State and you're going to grow. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you so much, Robin. And I'd like to take a moment to thank today's presenter for joining us and sharing the expertise. Today's session focuses on your membership journey. The New York State PTA membership team will introduce this year's theme, goals, resources, awards, and strategies to help your PTA strengthen membership, build engagement, and grow its impact. And remember, for those that are interested in receiving the Lead Pin Award program, please remember that there will be a special question that will be shared during today's presentation. So be sure to listen carefully. You will need that special question as part of the Pin Award program form. With that, I'll turn it over to our presenters.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're so excited you're here with us tonight. Whether it's your first or 20th year in PTA, we're thrilled you decided to spend a part of the evening with us and hope you leave with at least one new idea to grow your PTA. This year's theme, as you can see, is from base camp to summit. Together we reach new heights. This year isn't just about selling membership. It's about building a community. If we haven't met yet, my name is Maria Sanders and I'm your membership coordinator. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be talking about membership. So let's start with having a little fun. In the chat, drop one word describing how you are feeling about the school year. Well, let me go to the chat and see. I see excited, hopeful, excited. Oh, you guys are so great. Everybody's fabulous, overwhelmed, eager, nervous. Yikes. I love yikes. Yikes is one of my favorite words. The wonderful thing is you're not alone in these thoughts, and you're not doing this alone. Tonight is really about helping you start your climb, because every PTA is going to begin at base camp, and together we're going to all reach the summit. Now, you're not going to climb alone. And thankfully, I don't have to do membership alone. I am fortunate to be working with an incredible team. So let me start by introducing them. Bridget is our marketing specialist. Where are you, Bridget?
Right here. Good
We
evening,
have
everyone. Thank you for joining us.
we have Danielle Blanchard St. Louis, our membership engagement specialist.
Hi,
Bridget Marks, I think I forgot your last name. We're fortunate to have Mary Sotomayor as our designated officer.
Hi, everybody. I'm thrilled to be with you tonight. I'm incredibly proud of this team, and I hope you leave tonight knowing you have an entire network of people ready to help you succeed.
And the fabulous Theta Smith, who is the membership and field support senior associate and a part of our New York State PTA staff. She's the person that you get through to when you call that PTA office. So I know many of you have made that phone call. Speaking about teams, every PTA has this great support system, right? Bridget, can you tell us about our region membership chairs and who they are and what they do?
Sure. Thanks, Maria. One of the biggest misconceptions we hear is I didn't know who to ask. Well, here it is. There are 12 region membership chairs. Each region obviously has one. Your chair is there to brainstorm ideas with you and for you, celebrate your successes, help you when membership slows down, talk through challenges, and sometimes just to remind you that what you're experiencing is actually completely normal. I want everyone to remember tonight one thing, and that one thing is to know that you don't have to struggle alone. Membership works best when we share ideas. And in the chat, if you have a moment in the chat, please share if you've reached out to your region membership chair and how they've helped you. Back to you, Maria.
Oh, are we on the next slide yet?
Mm.
So every climb begins with a plan. And how do you plan? Your plan is your plan of work. You're going to start with going into givebacks and finding your membership goal. You're going to pick a theme. You're going to create a campaign and review it. And then you're going to implement that plan. The plan of work sounds really scary to people, right? But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be a 25-page strategic document, although I did receive one of those and I was thoroughly impressed. It could be something really simple. Ask yourself, what are we going to do to welcome people? How are we going to invite them? How are we going to engage them? You have to understand, membership isn't a one-time thing. It's not just going to one event or meet the teacher night or a back to school event. Membership has to be throughout the year. It has to be really small, easy, simple steps. And it has to be about making people feel comfortable and welcome and like they want to be part of that. Like I said earlier, this year our focus is a little more, although we want the numbers, right? New York State wants 1 million members. That's not really what's going to serve our PTA community. What's going to serve our PTA community is making people feel like they are part of us. They are one with us, and we're all doing this together. When your community understands that you want them to be a part of this and you want them to belong, you're going to see your numbers grow exponentially. Theta? Okay, so let's talk membership plan. You have to start with identifying your membership team. Your membership team could be a membership chair, a membership coordinator, or it could be a number of people that are spread throughout. I've seen membership teams include somebody at every grade level, include staff, include administration. Your team could be as big or small as you want. I like to say that membership really is everybody's job. So once you get that team together, you want a membership theme. You want something that you're going to, a brand, if you will, that you're going to continue throughout the year. When they see that, they think membership and they think PTA. And it has to be a year-long plan, not just a short week little, a short 1 week promotion. It has to be something that you continuously drive. And then you want to start promoting it. And where should you promote it? Everywhere. How often should you promote it? As often as humanly possible. And then here's the special thing. Throughout the course of the year, you want to review it and you want to audit it and adjust it because you will see things change. The excitement of the beginning of the year fades towards November and December. You have to create a new excitement at that point and give people a new reason and a new motivation. And then as the year comes to an end, this year we saw some fabulous PTAs start making it almost like a competition and like getting on the ground floor of PTA membership for the year. And that's why we had some units that were so successful that they've already surpassed 200 members. And we're still in August. School hasn't started yet. So I think that's pretty spectacular. Next slide.
Can I interrupt real quick? I know we're not answering questions just yet, but this has popped up about the goals and givebacks. We are waiting for givebacks to update them. They've gone through some changes and it's taking them a little bit longer. We have been told it will be in the next week or so that will be updated. So yes, they are getting updated. Okay, next slide.
So let's talk membership awards. At a glance, we have we say every milestone should be celebrated. In August, we're going to go through all of them. So I'm not gonna stick with this too long. August is the Horizon Award. That is the one award that every single PTA in New York State can and should earn. Because what's a better way to start your year than holding your first PTA meeting and say, guess what? Before we even had our first PTA meeting, we got an award from New York State because our members are that awesome. I'm going to turn it over to Bridget and Theta to tell us about the membership awards.
Sorry, it's taking it a hot second to switch from screen to screen. Okay, so I'm going to go over good standing requirements first. In order to earn any membership award, there are 5 things that you really have to do first. Always, you need to have your, actually, there are 6 things. Officers need to be updated and give backs, specifically your president, treasurer, and secretary. And make sure that when you put in your secretary, it is as secretary, not corresponding secretary. You need to have your insurance renewed and current with AIM. You need to have your bylaws current. You also, starting October 31st, you have to have your dues paid and at least 25 members. Then you need to also be current with the IRS, meaning your 990 needs to be filed each year by the deadline, which is November 15th. And then you also each year need to take the financial accountability training for the president and the treasurer. And that is an annual thing that needs to be done. So those are things that we check, regardless of whether or not you have reached the requirements for the goal or for the award. You have to be in good standing in order to be able to be eligible. So our first award is the Horizon Award. This one is a super easy one. As Maria brought it up, and I'll put the link in here, and it's on our website. You're really just sharing with us your membership theme, your membership plan. It can be as detailed as you have it, as simple as you had it, what your goal is. And you just need to submit it by October 31st and be in good standing, and your PTA qualifies. There you go.
Okay, thank you. For the early bird, you would have had to have by September 30th reached at least 50% of your membership goal and have paid, you would have had to have paid your state and national dues for all members who have joined by that date. And then 12 random winners, one from each region, will receive a PTA swag. As for the Savvy Award, you would have had to reach 100% of your membership goal and paid your state national dues for all members who had joined by the final date of each month. And that is September through December. And 3 random PTA winners will be drawn for each month and will receive a $100 cash prize.
All right. It was pointed out, I might have said October 31st as the deadline to submit it. It is August 31st. October 31st is dues. Okay. So Trailblazer Award, also this one is the October 31st. And it is for reaching 75% of your membership goal. And again, submitting your dues. 12 random winners, one from each region, will receive this. Also, going with the back on the Savvy, you earned that once. So if you reach your goal in September, you only earn it for September. You don't receive the badge and the award each additional month.
All right, so for our students, the deadline you see here is November 30th. By that date, again, all dues should have been submitted by then. And the students, you would submit their name as student, not family or staff, but student to get recognized. And students must equal at least 10% of your total membership to qualify.
All right, I'm going to jump in here, and this month for December is actually, I think, one of my favorite awards, if I can be a little biased. This is the Tag the Trail Challenge, which is a 4-week interactive social media challenge. So there are a few steps listed there, but essentially, New York State PTA will be posting a prompt designed to build engagement. Your unit will be replying to the prompt, sharing the post, and tagging your PTA. The key to this is to make sure that you invite a lot of people to comment, share, like, subscribe, and tag your PTA. So the more mention your has, the more you're able to get noticed, the more you engage, the better chance you have to win. So the unit that is tagged the most times each week will receive a $200 cash prize. So I think that's a nice incentive. And it's also a nice way, to, like we said, build engagement, but also to get the word out there. If some parents may not be aware that you have a Facebook or an Instagram page, social media is very prominent. So using that to engage and promote your PT is absolutely a great way to get the trail going. Okay, so January's award is Discovering Community. The deadline is January 31st. And for this, we're asking for units to reach out to 6 new members, of course, to have all of the good standing requirements. 6 random winners will receive a special prize box. And these community members are maybe, let's say, some people that you might not be reaching out to. At the bottom there, you see some of your biggest supporters may not have a child currently attending your school. You could reach out to, let's say, your former school I'm sorry, not president, school principal, if you're still, in contact with them, if they may be a friend to the district or they're in another position. Also, businesses, local businesses, if you've got an ice cream shop that a lot of students or families frequent, can reach out to them. Hey, would you like to join or support our PTA? Teachers and staff, and also community organizations, librarians, your pastor, your rabbi, your imam, your basketball coach, someone in your community. Reach out to them and say, hey, would you like to join our PTA? February is the Founders Day Award, celebrating our legacy. And this is really just a nod to those women who who blazed the trail for all of us here in PTA. To earn the award, you're going to add 10 new members. Doesn't necessarily have to be any type, just 10 new members, submit dues, and then have all of the good standing requirements. Next is the Staff Strong Award. The deadline for this is March 31st, and your goal here is to engage teachers and staff and have them equal to 10% of your unit's total membership. Excuse me for this. So the teachers obviously are the T in PTA, but you might have a custodian, your principal, your superintendent, but just have them listed under the actual teacher or staff membership type. And then the 6 top recruiters will receive a special prize box. Now we have the Power of Membership / Leadership Award, which the deadline is April 30th. And for this, we're asking you to complete a short Google form. And you could also nominate a membership star from your unit to receive the Trailblazer Star recognition. 12 random winners, 1 per region, will receive PTA swag as well as a New York State PTA President's pin. Now, I believe at the beginning of the call, if most of us were here and we heard about a special question that was going to be asked for the leadership development pin, and I'm going to deliver that question now. Drum roll. So the question is, how can you honor a membership superstar on your team? The answer is with the Trailblazer Star recognition. So all qualified nominees will receive the digital Trailblazer Star recognition certificate, which is a little digital badge that will be able to say, hey, I am a PTA membership superstar or a trailblazer. I have done the work. So if we hear that question, look out for it. Okay, next we have Good Apple Awards, which will recognize growth over the past year. So we have the bronze, silver, gold, and diamond designations. So if you achieve growth up to 100 or 100% or over, you would achieve that diamond badge, and then so on and so forth. The PTA with the highest percentage in each category will receive $100, and the highest statewide growth will receive $500 cash prize. And finally, we have the High Five Award, which celebrates success throughout the month. So to qualify, you will have to have earned 5 or more membership awards or badges during the year. And of course, submit your dues by May 31st. The PTAs that are eligible statewide will receive, 12 of them random winners will receive PTA swag.
Danielle, a
Yeah,
couple people are asking you to repeat the question and answer. I think you might have cut out for a couple people on that. Do you mind doing that?
sure. I'm so sorry.
That's
Okay. The special question is, how can you honor a membership superstar on your team? And the answer is with the Trailblazer Star recognition. Should I do it one more time? One more time. Okay. How can you honor a membership superstar on your team is the question. And the answer is the Trailblazer Star recognition.
And if I could add, the Trailblazer Star recognition is a new award we're doing this year because we recognize that membership is like there are people within our communities that work so hard and they wind up being like the welcome committee. So we thought it would be great to be able to recognize and honor them. So look out for that. I'm sorry, Danielle, go ahead.
No problem. I'm sorry for those of you who couldn't hear me. I just looked at the chat like, oh no. Okay, so for your trail community, right? We're all in this together. So we'd like you to join the New York State PTA Leaders Community on Facebook. It's a group where a lot of leaders can discuss ideas, ask questions. We very often have people come in and say, "Oh, I was always wondering about that." And, then we might have Patty sometimes come in and answer questions as well. So it's a very useful resource. Also, the New York State PTA Instagram page is listed there, as well as our general Facebook page. And Memby, our, sorry, he was here somewhere. I saw Patty had hers. I had my basketball Memby somewhere. I think one of my kids took it. Darn it, I'm unprepared. But Memby has his own New York State PTA page. So follow him, look for updates, and join a community of other leaders like yourself. You still going? Sorry. We also have the membership toolkit, award. I'm sorry. We have a newsletter archive, support resources, our Canva resources and templates that you can use. So if you go onto those and you'll have a link that would allow you to create your own membership. In the past, we had a thermometer. This year we have the trail sort of Memby is going up the mountain on the hike. We also have success stories that units are recognized for. So they've got a really outstanding membership plan, or they did a really great membership drive and were able to boost not only membership numbers, but engagement as well. So you can see some of those on the success stories page there, as well as support via givebacks. And again, links to our Facebook and other social media pages.
So let's talk about Membership Mondays. Actually, we're not going to talk, well, we're going to talk about Membership Mondays briefly. Membership Mondays, in essence, are an open Zoom. Anybody can come on, whether you're a local leader, regional level, state level. You could be the president, the VP, the treasurer. You could be the community engagement or dance chairperson. It's open for anybody. It's typically an informal meeting, 30 to 60 minutes, and they're held just about every month. It's an opportunity for you guys to come on with us and talk membership. You get to ask pretty much any question you have as it pertains to membership, and we can give you tips and tricks and ideas, and we can also brainstorm as a collective. In the past, we've discussed community engagement, kind of how to grow your community, communication methods, what works, what doesn't, how to build your student membership, how to engage your local businesses, SEPTA, which oftentimes has challenges a little different from what the local units, what the in-building units have. But it's different ideas, tips, tricks, challenges. One of my favorites was a conversation about how to grow your staff membership. And there was no, there were units struggling. And everybody on the call kind of gave tips and tricks. Ultimately, you have to remember that your peers are probably one of your best resources. I like to think the membership team is going to be, rock stars in helping you, but your peers are also living exactly what you're living. So they may have tried something in their building that worked exceptionally well. And it's a great opportunity to share things like that. I'm going to address some of the questions in the chat. There was one comment that broke my heart. Somebody who felt deflated because of hearing, and I can't find the actual comment, but they were upset because of hearing how large some of the memberships are. It isn't always easy to build membership. Sometimes it takes a little creativity. Sometimes it's just being in the right place at the right time and doing the right thing. Don't compare yourself to anybody else, right? You have to compare yourself to where you were. I like to say, compare yourself to where you were a year ago today. In my region, when I was the membership person, we actually had to present, part of my report included what our membership number was today versus what our membership number was a year ago today. Because when you're comparing yourself to others, you're comparing apples to oranges. And you have to understand, New York State PTA has buildings with 200 students. We also have PTAs with over 2,000 students. So it lends itself to the over 2,000 students might be a little quicker in getting those membership numbers up. So don't ever be discouraged. And if you are, please, please, please reach out to me. I'll get you excited. Because I really do sincerely love this. I've always said that membership is kind of the heart of PTA. It enables us to do the things that we do. It enables us to build a community. It enables us to do programs. It enables us to engage and grow and advocate and everything else. And somebody else also asked if you have already met the criteria before the deadlines. If you've met the criteria before the deadlines, if you have, let's say, over 20% of staff before that award, you automatically have earned the award. So pat yourself on the back and give yourself a gold star because you are ahead of the game. And some of you have already submitted the Horizon Award. I'm just going to give you guys a round of applause. But seriously, I'm going to take notes of all the names on this, and I expect to see you have submitted that Horizon Award. And again, don't let it scare you. We're asking for your membership plan, but it's pretty easy. Team, what would you like to share? Let me start with you, Mary. What would you like to share with our friends joining us tonight?
Well, I think one thing I'd add from the leadership perspective is that the strongest membership campaigns really are intentional. It doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out in August. It just means you know where you want to go and you're willing to adjust along the way.
Thank you, Mary. Brigitte, where are you, my friend? What would you like to share?
I'm right here. I want to say that the destination isn't simply just a membership, a number. It's a stronger, more connected PTA community when we work together. And just keep inviting people on the trail. There's always room for one more.
I love that. Miss Danielle, what do you have for us? I know you did a lot of talking, but we love you.
I was actually going sort of similar to what Brigitte said, that the numbers, not that they don't matter, but they're not the most important part. Sometimes the strength of a unit or the strength of a team or or of a PTA lies in the engagement. It lies in the fact that you have 10 really, really good volunteers, or you have one really strong membership chair who is passionate, who is enthusiastic about doing the actual work, right? A lot of people sometimes join PTA for different reasons, but when you see people who are committed to not just the work, but the students themselves, I think that's always a win.
I love that. Miss Theta, are you with us? Do you have a fun tip?
I am. I'm going to be frank. I've been paying attention to the chat and putting stuff in there. I'm going to say I find membership exciting. I think it's so fun to get the parents in our schools involved and the people in our community involved and helping them get excited about our purpose and our vision. I think, one thing that really helps is to let everybody know what PTA is all about and let them know what the bigger picture of what PTA is all about and how we and our focus is supporting children and supporting them, all children in all of the state and all of the nation, and helping them and advocate for them. And I think bringing in members is a great way for each of our families to have an opportunity to be a part of that.
I love that. See, for me, it's really just about being welcoming and inviting and bringing people into your circle. So I like to say, you have the first meeting, and typically our board is sitting at the front of the room and we're frantic trying to get ready for that meeting, right? Because we have so much on our mind. Listen, we were on this call an hour before you guys to prepare ourselves. But especially in the space of in-person meetings, my advice is always to step away from that, right? When people are coming to your PTA meeting, you have to address it kind of like somebody coming to your house. So if somebody comes to your house and knocks on your door, do you leave the door unlocked, say, come in, help yourself to a cup of coffee and a cookie? Of course not. You're going to meet your new friend at the door. You're going to give them a hug. You're going to say, welcome. You're going to ask, would you like a soda or a cup of coffee, cookie, cake? What can I help you with? And you're going to sit down and chat with them. you have to start thinking of your PTA meeting in the same way, right? You have to start thinking of it kind of as your home, and your exec committee is your family. So you're going to greet people at the door. You're going to welcome them, especially that first meeting, because y'all know the first meeting is when everybody shows up, whether or not they're members. That is your best opportunity to grow not just your membership, but grow your PTA community. As your PTA community grows, as people feel like this is something I want to be part of, they will. And you'll see yourselves exponentially grow. So here is your challenge for now. Find your membership goal. As Theta said, we're anticipating them to be updated in the next week or so. Complete a membership plan, hint, hint, that is the Horizon Award. And like I said before, it does not have to be a 25-page thesis. I have gotten some that were one sentence and they were fabulous. Somebody did ask about if you have to stay with our trail, our trail theme. You absolutely do not. You could do whatever you want. We actually built the base camp to summit off of summer leadership, which was camp PTA theme. So we kind of decided to extend it for the year. And your real challenge is ready. It's the hardest one you've ever gotten. Invite one new person to join your PTA. That's it. And it could be anybody. Send an email or a phone call or a communication to your principal, your superintendent, your board of ed. The people within your school community are great. There could be a grandma living across the street from your school who has nothing but time on her hands. She's going to be a great member. She's going to be involved, engaged, excited. And guess what? She's also going to have time. And she's going to remember what it was like when she was PTAing for her kids. In my community, we have a lot of grandparents that have come in, and they are just rock stars because they oftentimes fill in a space where a lot of parents are working and busy. I think that's all we have. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope we have helped in some way. Keep an eye out for the membership toolkit. Over the course of the year, we're going to be doing a lot of updates and giving you guys some fresh new information. Also, don't hesitate to reach out to your region membership chairs. They are going to be your first line of contact. And I met them over the summer, and I have to say, I think that every single one of them is amazing. So thank you guys all for joining us. And Miss Theta, I know we have questions.
We do. I would say the first thing that I've seen a few times is about goals and how goals are determined. I didn't know if that's something you wanted me to cover or if you wanted to go over it.
Absolutely. You are the rock star in that world.
Okay. We did goals a little bit different this year. One of the things, typically goals have been only based off of membership numbers, your registered numbers. So then a few more members are added to the goal. We know that there's been a lot of changes with schools and populations in the school, and districts redistrict their schools. So this year we pulled up the enrollment numbers for all of the schools, and we adjusted goals with still the purpose of growth over last year's registered members. So it's a combination of two things: growth over last year's registered members, but also keeping in mind what your individual school has for enrollment. Now, when it comes to PTAs that are district-wide, whether it's a SEPTA or whether it's, a district-wide or a community PTA, those types of PTAs were taken into account. And so if you're a SEPTA that is supporting 10 schools in your district, it's not a percentage of that number. It is very much based off of what your registration trend has been. Okay, I can go on. There is some questions about, let's see if I go back.
I noticed about SEPTA.
Yes.
SEPTA is a little challenging, right? Because you don't have a building necessarily. Typically, your students are in various buildings. So you don't have a principal, and you don't oftentimes have that direct contact that a building level PTA has. But there are tips and tricks and different people that you can use to fill that gap. So in my district, our SEPTA meetings were held at district office, and our air quotes principal was the assistant superintendent for special services. So we figured out a way to fill that gap and to kind of get our principal. They were fantastic, fantastic partners. It's about building that partnership similar to at the building level and being a little more creative. This year, we're actually working on kind of a SEPTA specific toolkit, if you will, with some tips and tricks because we recognize SEPTA works a little differently than building level. So keep an eye out. That should be coming shortly. We're currently working on it. All right, Dita, what else? What do we have next?
This one we're going to put in the chat, but they're asking, there are a few questions asking about if this is recorded and how do they have access. It will be uploaded in the next week or two to the New York State PTA website, and we will, we will put that on there. I just had someone say something about the Horizon form. I'll look to see that the form is correct. I think we tested it, but maybe the date just didn't get changed. There is a question on here about how to get student members, both in elementary school and in later grades.
Mary, do you want to talk about secondary? About our middle school and high school kids? And then Danielle, you have littles. I'll give you a sec.
Sure. Secondary actually was, at first, we thought it was going to be challenging because a lot of the buildings have adopted some of the things that we've already done, and we were trying to find our space. But what we realized is they want to be a part of this, and not just as the kids of parents that are volunteering. They want to be members themselves so that they could do stuff as well. So I would look at those groups, look at the honor society, all the kids, because we're every child, one voice, right? So when we give opportunities to kids that feel like they don't have a club for them, that's who we are, right? We take on that role. And we give them a meaningful membership. When they're members as students, they get to participate in what it is that we're doing, and they have a voice in what happens in their school as well. Does that answer your question, Maria?
Yes, thank you. Danielle, tell us about building membership among students in the younger grades.
So, I am currently the president of an elementary school and previously served as vice president of membership for that same school. So I was tasked with figuring out how to get the littles involved, right? And there was always a question of, well, if they're a member, can they vote? And there was a lot of, talk about that. I just see, I think someone asked that in the chat as well. So the way that it's explained is that in order for students to vote on, PTA matters, they need to be matters that the students can reasonably understand, right? And be able to, let's say, have a basic conversation about. So if we're talking about what are what's going to be our new mascot for the year or something like that. I don't know. I'm just, there's something off the top of my head. That might be something that might be appropriate for, a student vote or something. But then if we're talking about complexities of budget or whatever the case is. So I think you can maybe judge from your own understanding as to what issues your students may or may not be able to vote in. But sometimes voting is not the major draw, right? For students, it's being able to say that they are a part of something. If your school doesn't have a pep squad or maybe some sort of student government organization or like a student council, the PTA can be a way for elementary students or at any level to join in. At the elementary level, what we've done is have class-wide competitions that were incentivized. So between the kindergarten, through fifth grade, the class that had the most PTA student memberships would receive a pizza party or an ice cream party or, had bragging rights or would be able to spray the principal with like silly spray or something like that. Elementary school kids love humiliating their principals. So if you can get your principal somehow in on that, we also had like become a principal for a day as one of the incentives for student memberships. That was a sign up. And then we also made an event of the November, elections. So we had our own student ballot box. And the PTA was, well, we marketed as this is your student's step into self-advocacy, right? So PTA is an advocacy organization. So for some parents, have it, again, if there's no debate team or if there's no way for students to have a voice, this can be the avenue for them to do so. And also, not for nothing, but it's a little bit of bragging rights because my son, we'd have events and someone would be like, oh, the science night was really good or carnival was really good this year. And my son was like, yeah, my mom planned that. And I was part of the PTA and I helped do it. I'm the reason we had red ices and not blue ones. So, there's, like I said, elementary school kids, there is a lot of ways that you can engage them. This past year was very big with 6-7. So we employed that a lot. We had a 6-7 challenge. Like there's all sorts of ways, but I'm going to stop talking now because you asked for maybe a couple of ways and I could go on about this for ages and ages, but make it fun. Think about the stuff that they like. Roblox, squishies.
I love that, Danielle. And I'll add, listen, you have to give it value. As a mom of two kids that are in college right now, PTA went a long way for helping my kids build their resume to get into the colleges that they wanted to get into, right? I have some news for those of you that have younger kids. Being a straight A student today is not enough. We have a lot of straight A students, especially in New York State. So you want your child to have these, first of all, you want them to have opportunities to be a leader because in life, there's nothing greater than being able to be comfortable in speaking and leading as opposed to, waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. So PTA can afford kids those opportunities from a very young age. I got to see a third grader, one of the greatest moments of my life. She went to a Board of Ed meeting to advocate for no homework. Really simple, third grade. She went to a Board of Ed meeting as a professional to say that she did not, she thought that we shouldn't have homework anymore. And her mom is a PTA mom, and we had talked about it at some point. And she was like, yeah, she's been watching me do this for years. So our children learn by what they see. For my kids, my son was fortunate to be one of the first youth members that attended New York State PTA convention, right? He came home with all these thoughts and ideas and a different understanding of what we do. He wants to be part of it again as a college student, and he's planning on becoming an educator. So he will today he's one of the student parts of PTA, but later on I'm looking forward to him being that T part of PTA. And James Payne, where are you? I'm seeing that, you're feeling a little challenged. I'm going to share a story with you. Grew up in Brooklyn, moved to Long Island. I did not have any idea that PTA was about this. In Brooklyn, PTA lives in a silo. It's just in a building. We were basically the recess aides, and that's what we did. And we helped in the cafeteria. That's what PTA did. So I came to Long Island. I went to my first PTA meeting in like January, not knowing that there was anything outside my building. My darling husband nominated me for the nominating committee. I got elected. Fast forward a few months, I walked out of that nominating committee meeting as a co-president, not having a clue what I signed up for. Almost 20 years later, here I still am because I've learned and I've grown in time, I've grown into different positions. And you've already taken the first step, right? Because you're hanging out here with us. You could have been anywhere else on a Wednesday. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like this is a lot. It's small steps. You have plenty of support to help you. There are going to be a ton of other webinars. Go on the New York State PTA website. There are a ton of other webinars that you can just listen to. I used to listen to the webinars in the car as I was driving, no video because we want to be safe. But I used to just listen to them and just listen to what people were saying and the direction and the instruction and the advice that they gave. And it really helped me grow and kind of feel more comfortable in my role. And we're all here. Look, I see all the comments. We are all here to help you and support you. And this isn't just James, this is everybody. Like, I want you guys to leave here feeling excited and not nervous, because membership should be fun. Like it's really just about being part of this fabulous community of amazing people. Do we have any more questions, Dina?
I haven't seen anything. I think I know there was a question about food incentives, but that was answered. If I missed a question, throw it down into the chat right now for me,
I know
please.
I know that I saw in the earlier comments where someone asked if they were going to get a copy of the presentation,
Oh,
and
yes.
that's something that Sophia is working on to make sure that only those who attend, and that's one of the good things about attending the actual live workshops, you will be given a copy of the slides. So if you attended and you stayed to the end, we're going to make sure that you get a copy of those slides.
We're also, I think we also put the chat in here. All the recordings are put up on the website. Danielle put the link to that page, and so did Sophia. So yes, these will take a couple weeks to get up on the website, and you can always share and watch the recording.
I just want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, especially my team. Aren't they amazing? Don't you wish you guys had them working with you? You can't have them, they're all mine. I want to thank President Patty Frazier, the rest of the exec committee, the leadership development team for facilitating this, because it's so important to give us an opportunity to talk, right? There's nothing better than just being able to interact. And I'm just going to end with kind of every step matters, every conversation matters, every member matters. So, and that's because every child matters. So ultimately, we all come together to do good things for kids. I hope to see everybody at the summit. In a perfect world, friends, I want to see you guys hit your goal before New Year's. And then in December, you can tag the trail and get a financial bonus to start your year off well. Thank you for joining us, and feel free to reach out if anybody ever has any questions or needs help.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Maria. And thank you so much to all of our presenters, Maria, Danielle, Brigitte, Mary, and Theta, for sharing their knowledge and insight. And for those who indicated in the chat that you're looking for a network or a group of people to just bounce ideas off from, typically we have a webinar every second Wednesday of the month. So this could be your little hangout spot. The next one will be on Wednesday, September 9th. It is not the second Wednesday because of the holidays, but please feel free to make this a standing second Wednesday of the month hangout spot. Like I mentioned, this webinar will count towards your lead pin award requirement. You will just have to visit the website and fill out the form. They're going to ask you a couple of questions, including the special question that was shared during today's presentation. If you missed it, don't worry. This webinar is being recorded, and you'll be able to revisit the presentation to find the answer, as well as to, listen back on some of the tips that were being shared. You could always reference back to this. We will also share the presentation via email with anyone who joined us live tonight. One of the benefits for you taking the time out to join with us live. Thank you all again for joining us this evening and for your ongoing commitment to learning, growing, and leading within your PTA community. Have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to seeing you at a future leadership development webinar.